the Women's Business Center. Your first step to success.
What are some of the perks that you guys deal with? Like, what's the perk? I mean, you're around all these businessmen. I mean, there's got to be some perks with them. You get them to hear you first at least, or they stop and listen?
Get their attention, maybe. I don't know.
That it's a perk, or do you find sometimes that it's a challenge?
I think for me, it's usually a challenge. Because I know that when we first started out, one of the things I highly recommend to anyone that's in new businesses is to get out and join any associations or, and to meet these people. But I know for me, the first few times I went to these big meetings in New York or San Francisco, there weren't very many women in the auction business. And for some reason, I mean, they were very kind, very gracious, but then they would turn and talk to the men. And that was a little difficult in the beginning, because I wasn't quite as the fake it till you make it. I mean, I was trying to do that, but I wasn't so sure about what I was doing. So that took me a little while. So I don't know that being a woman really
was a perk.
It would be a perk. Now I know now, I mean, if there's an issue at the auction and I mean, unfortunately, we have issues. I mean, you've got two sides to every transaction, so occasionally there's a problem and somebody's not happy. I think that when they deal with me, I think that they come in a little kinder and gentler. Sometimes they come in kind of hot-headed, and once they sit down in my office, they kind of cool down. Where they'll go, my arbitration manager's a man, and they tend to jump, at him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
that's the perk.
That may be the perk. Yeah, I guess so.
It's because you're so nice and you smile. And they come in and they're like, oh.
But sometimes they think that you're there because of that, because you're so nice and you're beautiful, or that you don't have the ability or the capacity or the knowledge. They are challenging you sometimes because they want to know if you're really there because of your knowledge or because of your experience. So you have to pass those things, and later they will respect you and recognize you and admire you, and really you will find people that wants to help you and to do your best and keep on growing. But at the beginning, they see you with these eyes of, well, what this lady is doing here. Or she has very nice looks, maybe because of her looks. And
She's just pretty. She doesn't have a brain.
Yes, so maybe she's here because some other situation. And later on, the time passes and your experience and your knowledge will tell them why you're there.
At any time, did you feel insecure in this industry? At any time, were you there having a brave face, but no?
No, I never feel insecure. I just wanted to make my job and have my salary and go home. I never care about insecurities, and there's always people that wants to help. I didn't know a lot of parts, a lot of machines, and I just go to the area and ask the end user, what's this? Why I'm asking this? Or why it's so urgent to have it? And I solved my questions with the right people. At that time there was no Googling. You will have to ask. You will have to read. And the books to read, Thomas' book at that time were huge. So you just have to make your way. And time will tell. But right now, whatever woman wants to follow whatever road and jobs,
they can do it.
There's not a problem. You can learn yourself, master your skills, look for your abilities, and if they are not that strong, develop them. And you have people always willing to help. You have Google, you have a lot of resources. So there's no
reason.
There's no obstacle that you can't conquer.
But also, I think what she's saying is that we also have to put the responsibilities on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because in anything we do, there is a learning curve.
Yeah.
And there's a learning curve where you can do the, fake it until you make it, but at the same time you have to do all that research and the learning, so that you can, by the time that you're here, they are respecting you because of your knowledge, or because of that you became a professional or very knowledgeable on what you do. So
that's true. It's very true, because like with air conditioning, I have my technicians, we have videos, right? And I'm like, okay, let's watch the videos, guys. We're going to have a class on Saturday. And they're like, oh, you're going to be here? I'm like, yes, I need to watch it too. I need to know what's going on. There's something new. How come I don't know? You know, I mean, and they're like, oh, okay, there's some new compressors coming in. Okay, where's the research? Have we downloaded it? Have we bought the product? Let's look into it. Send me the video. So the guides know, okay, well, we gotta send it to Sarah. She's gonna, I want to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on, because if somebody calls me and says this isn't working, I need to know why. And if I don't know, like that part of that insecurity, if I don't know, I just say, I don't know that, but let me get my supervisor who does, hold on. And I'll call my dad. Hey, Dad. I have a question. And so you ask. And I did have an incident where there was a gentleman, and he was like, I want to talk to the owner. And I said, how can I help you? Well, I want to talk to the man in charge. I said, I am in charge. How can I help you? And what is it that you need? And he's like, I don't want to talk to you. And I said, okay, I tell you what, let me have somebody call you back. And I hung up, and I called Dad, and I said, this gentleman is calling. He goes, oh, I know him. And I said, okay, he's calling. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't tell me why. He wants to talk to you. Here's his phone number. And he says, okay. So Dad calls him up, and then 5 minutes later, the man calls me, and he goes, can I please speak to Sarah? And my dad told him, I don't handle any of that. You have to talk to my daughter. And then after that, he calls all the time. No problem. So you do have things that you deal with sometimes. And sometimes that can be a little frustrating, because you're like, really? I mean, you have to deal with some of that. You just have to grow thick skin and just...
But I think that's in any industry. I think in anything that we're doing, we're going to find challenges. The unique thing about your industry is that right now it's dominated completely by men. If you think in the past, that's the way it was for lawyers, that's the way it was for doctors, and slowly now it's a very even field. Well, in the industries that you guys have chosen to be in, it's not there yet. But you're opening the doors for it to be that. And that's just really exciting. But in every field, you're going to find challenges, and sometimes challenges where you feel like the world is falling apart around you, and it's not, because it depends on you. So
it's your attitude. How are you going to face it? I can handle it. Let's move forward.